Hey guys, what's up? Chess Noob here. In today's chess video, we're going to go over how to play the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. Now, the Blackburne Shilling Gambit is played from Black's perspective, and it starts off with the moves e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4. So first, let me explain what a gambit is. A gambit is where white or black gives up a piece or pieces to gain a lead in development, or any other advantage. So let's go back a few moves here, and I'm gonna show you the purpose of these beginning moves. So with white playing e4 and black responding e5, white and black is trying to get control of the center. From here, white is going to play the move knight to f3, attacking the e5 pawn as well as developing a piece. And black is going to do the same thing. Black is going to develop his minor piece, the knight, to c6, and is going to defend the e5 pawn. From here, white is going to play the move bishop to c4. Now, bishop to c4 is a very strong move, and this position is known as the Italian game. The bishop on c4, its purpose, or main purpose, is to put pressure on the pawn on f7 for black. Because the pawn on f7 for black is always the weakest pawn, and vice versa, the pawn on f2 for white is the weakest pawn. Alright, so from here, this opening can transpose into a lot of different openings. I'm not going to go over them all in depth, but some of them are like the fried liver. You can continue with the Italian game. You can get into the guaco piano or the Evans gambit. And black's next move, knight to d4, kind of throws white off because now white might be inclined to capture on e5, and this is an unorthodox move, and so that's probably why it works so well. Not many people know about this opening, and it can really shock your opponent when he finds out the danger. Alright, so from here, we're going to go over the main line, and that is knight takes on e5. So after knight takes on e5, we can see that white is posing a very dangerous threat, and that is knight takes on f7. And black is gonna completely disregard that and is gonna play the move queen to g5. Now this is a key move in the Blackburne Shilling Gambit, and as we'll see, the knight on d4 is also a key move, is also a key piece. From here, we'll continue with the main line, and that is knight takes on f7. So white must be really proud of himself. Alright, so he's probably thinking to himself, hey, look, I either get a queen or a rook right now. It's all going to turn out well. And black is going to still completely disregard that and is just going to take the pawn on g2. From here, we run into two different variations. And white's mindset might be, okay, so the rook on h8 for black is trapped and it can't really go anywhere. So I might as well move my rook to f1 and then capture the rook on the next move. From here, black is going to capture the pawn on e4. And now, white probably thinks it's all over. White probably thinks, okay, so now he can't attack me anymore after I play the move bishop to e2. And from here, black might be really inclined to take the pawn on c2. And this is a good move, but instead there's a better move. And that is knight to f3, checkmate. As you can see, the bishop on e2 cannot capture the knight on f3 because it's pinned to the king. This is known as smother's mate, and it's really satisfying to win this way because, I mean, it's not every day, it's not every game where you get to play someone like this, and it can be usually a quick game and a free easy point. All right, so let's go back a little, and we'll start right here. So we've seen what happens if rook plays to f1. Let's go over a different variation, and this is knight takes on h8. And from here, black has two different moves, and regardless, it's still going to turn out the same way. Black can take the pawn on e4, or black can take the rook on h1. Let's just say that black takes the rook on h1. From here, white only has one move to protect this and to block the check, and that's bishop to f1. From here, black is going to continue gobbling up pieces by taking the pawn on e4. And white probably doesn't want to lose a queen by playing queen to e2 because the knight on d4 can simply capture it. So instead, white is probably going to play bishop to e2. From here, black is going to capture the pawn on c2, and white has two different options right now. One of them is capturing the knight, and black recapturing on c2. The other move is king going to f1. King going to f1. From here, black is going to play the move queen to h1, checkmate. And basically, if white recognizes this threat, he's definitely going to lose a queen either way. So let's see that. And from here, black is up 7 points. And I forgot to mention this in the last variation, but even when you're up a queen, you really want to be careful because white has a lot of minor pieces and can continue attacking the queen. So you want to put your queen in a safe but effective square. And usually you can see like c6 or any other square that you think to be good. So let's go back a few moves and right over here. Now we've seen the two variations of knight takes on f7. Now let's see the variation of bishop takes on f7. Now, if you're black, you might be thinking, okay, wow, now the trap is screwed up. I can't do anything right now. I pretty much lost. I lost my castling rights. I'm down 2 pieces. What can I do right now? I might as well resign. But that's not true. From here, black can simply play king to d8, which is a computer recommended move. You might be inclined to play king to e7, but I've played this in a tournament before, and trust me, it does not turn out well, because from here, black is very vulnerable to attack and could be easily checkmated. So let's go over what happens if king d8. From here, white's knight is still under attack by the queen on g5, and at the same time, the pawn on g2 is also under attack. Now this is the great thing about the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. Even if something slight goes wrong, you can still continue playing the trap. And so from here, if white wants to conserve both the pawn on g2 and the knight on e4, white might play the move knight to g4. From here, black is going to play the move knight to h6, which is the computer recommended move. And I'll explain why this move is why this move is so good. This move it kind of adds a lot of pressure to the knight on g4. And let's go over what happens if knight takes on h6. From here, we're going to completely disregard the knight on h6, and we're just going to capture the pawn on g2. Like I said, this trap can continue working, and white is still in a lot of danger right now. And I think yeah, white will still be down a lot of pieces even after white gets a free knight. So let's go back here. From here, white might play the move, I don't know, h3, but black can still continue adding a lot of pressure. I mean, black can always play d6, adding another attacker to the g4 knight. And so, like I said, white cannot defend all this, and white's going to be in a lot of pressure. So we've seen what happens if the bishop captures on f7 and if the knight captures on f7. So let's go back to the beginning of the Blackburne Shilling Gambit, which is right here. Now, all the variations that preceded this is knight takes on e5, and let's go over what happens if white doesn't fall for the gambit and doesn't take the pawn on e5. Say that white plays a move like c3. From here, black is going to take the knight on f3, and white might respond by taking the knight on queen f3. Now it looks like white has a lot of development, and that's true. And that's the thing, but black is not down any pieces, and even after this move, the reason why we're taking the knight on f3 is because now the trap has low odds of working again, and that's because now what's there to take? If queen plays to g5, the knight can simply capture it. So from here, your knight is in a pretty bad spot right now, and the recommended move is knight takes on f3, because after this, white can gain a tempo. After queen takes on f3, now black can play the move knight to f6. Of course, white is up by a lot of development, but black will still be okay and is not down by any pieces. So this should be a fine game. Although black is at a slight disadvantage, it could still turn out well. So that was it, guys. Thank you for watching. This was the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. Now let me go over the moves again. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4. From here, the main move of Blackburne Shilling Gambit is knight takes on d4, and now these are where the variations come to play. So this is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. All my videos are getting a lot of support, so thank you guys so much. Peace.